This is pretty disturbing. I mean, Donald Trump says some crazy ass stuff, but we had a killing in Oregon of a I don't know, you could say a member of Antifa, somebody who was who self-identified as an anti-fascist, right? There's no group as far as I know. And he was suspected of murdering a Patriot Prayer activist, right-wing activist. And he was shot to death by police, local and federal authorities the other day. The initial report from police was that there was a gunfight. But there has been, subsequent to that, a witness who has almost come forward through his lawyer because they're afraid of retribution, who was there, who said there was no gunfight. There was a guy who was just walking to his car and they just opened fire on him. That he wasn't even aware that there were cops there. And because they were plain clothes cops, they just came out of the car. For all he knew, they were just, I don't know, Proud Boys. Right. And they fired on this guy and killed him. So that is rather suspect in and of itself. Here's Donald Trump talking to Jeanine Pirro. This is the other day, and then we'll see how he followed up. So this was like on Friday or Saturday.
Saturday.
Yeah, here he is. I want you to listen to this.
Wheeler's a disaster. He's a laughingstock. He went out to protest with these so-called agitators. And
talking about the mayor of Portland.
Him up badly. He fortunately had security, but they were going to beat him up badly. The man is a disaster. If he would say, come into Portland, within a half an hour, the whole thing would be solved.
But he's not going to say that.
The governor's gotten closer. Look what's going on out there. I will tell you.
Kate Brown,
the governor has gotten closer. I spoke to the governor 2 days ago.
Good.
They're arresting a lot of people.
Good.
Now, we sent in the U.S. Marshals for the killer, the man that killed the young man in the street. Just shot him. I mean, it was on television. Cold-blooded, killed him. He didn't like his hat, or he didn't like something, and it wasn't a Trump hat.
Right. It was peaceful.
It was
prayer.
It was a lot.
Patriot prayer.
Peaceful prayer.
Right. And he shot him cold blood. 2.5 days went by, and I put out, when are you going to go get him? And the U.S. Marshals went in to get him.
Good.
And in a short period of time, they ended in a gunfight. This guy was a violent criminal.
A lot of them out there.
And the U.S. Marshals killed him. And I will tell you something. That's the way it has to be. There has to be retribution when you have crime like this. There can't be guys standing up that want to fight. They want to fight. But you can't throw bricks at people with shields.
But the problem, Mr. President, you and I both agree. The problem is there are now prosecutors who are not.
Okay. Retribution. I mean, I don't know, like, how much further do we get here? There has to be retribution. You're going to send the U.S. Marshals as retribution, who are going to shoot. There was no gunfight. I remind you, there was no gunfight. The guy didn't have a gun. You're going to, this is going to be retribution. If you shoot, or you're suspected of shooting somebody who is a Trump supporter, there's going to be retribution by the U.S. authorities, federal marshals. I mean, what happens when we are okay with that as a society? What's the next step? Is Donald Trump like, well, you know what? I got to put the brakes on. I'm the limiting principle here. It's okay if you shoot that one guy that we're going to provide retribution. And you know what? Maybe I didn't speak properly there. Let me revisit my words. And Sunday, when I go out to Nevada and celebrate Herman Cain's life by holding another indoor rally, the first one since Tulsa, this is what I will say.
And they immediately raised their hands, and the Seattle police, who, by the way, could do a great job if they were let to do their job, but they're not. They're not. And as you know, in Portland the other day, we had to send in the U.S. Marshals. A man who's a bad guy, shot somebody right in the middle of the street, who they say was a very fine young man. Shot him, killed him. Just shot him like it was on television. 2.5 days, nothing happened. I said, what's going on? We sent in the U.S. Marshals. It was taken care of in 15 minutes, okay? 15 minutes.
Taken care of in 15 minutes. I mean, does anybody really need to know what he means by that? We just shot him. We killed him. That's the way that we handle this. When the government is basically talking about vigilantism, it's not vigilantism, right? It's simply extrajudicial killings. I don't know. Do people think that Joe Biden is going to do that? Brag about it?
Watch Trump lose zero, like, sort of GOP support.
Zero. Honestly, I mean, like, I guess I would entertain like a, debating someone about this, but really just more as like, I don't know. I don't think any minds would be changed other than really to sort of, for people to get just a clear idea of just how out of your mind you have to be to say that it's irrelevant as to who wins this election. And I'm sorry, you're a citizen. Guess what? Part of being a citizen is you're going to have to make some hard compromises too. And that is, you may absolutely loathe Joe Biden. You may have a list of 30 things that, makes him similar to Donald Trump. But the fact of the matter is that you are deluding yourself, or if you see no difference between Donald Trump's presidency and really the presidency of any other non-Republican. And even maybe another Republican would be better because they wouldn't have the ability to motivate the Republican voter, at least at this point, in the way that Donald Trump does, that causes all these other Republicans to fall in line. But we don't have to even, that's just a thought experiment. That's irrelevant. There's one person in the country who you have to vote for if you do not want Donald Trump to be president. It's as simple as that.